Hello, this is day 2 of the YouTube series. Today we learned local area networks, LAN, and protocols. Still in network fundamentals. So, what did we learn today? LAN topologies. So, a topology is basically just the way that the network is designed. There are three main ones that we went through today. The star topology, in which every device connects to a central switch slash hub. It's like the center of the system. Bus topology, where everything's connected to a single cable, and the ring topology, in which devices are connected in a circular chain. And from what I learned today, the star topology is generally the best one. Everything is centralized, and unless the central equipment breaks, it's pretty good. Onto network devices. So there are two main ones, a router and a switch. A router connects different networks. That's its main function. So it might connect to your private home network to the network of the internet. And it uses IP addresses to do this. And a switch, instead of connecting different networks together, it connects devices within the same network using the MAC address. Onto subnetting. So the definition is dividing larger networks into smaller subnetworks. An example of this is if you're in a company and you have different departments, it can uh, divide the network as a whole into smaller networks based on department. So you can have like an IT department, a HR department, and they'll have different networks, different smaller subnetworks. And there's this term called a subnet mask. This was a bit counterintuitive at first, but really all it is this 4-octet number that defines which part of the address is the network, which will be the first three, and which is the host, which is the last octet. And IP address uses are there's the network address, which, like I just said, is the first 3 octets. There's the host address, which is the last octet, which determines um, which device it is, and the default gateway, which is a router address for traffic that's leaving the network. So it's the address of, like this will be the address of the router, and anytime you're trying to send something to the internet, for example, it'll be sent to this address, and then the router routes it onto the internet. Now, ARP and DHCP, these are identification protocols. So address resolution protocol and dynamic host configuration protocol. Now what ARP does is it maps IP addresses to MAC addresses. And it does this in a two-step process where a device broadcasts who has this IP address, and then a device will respond with its physical MAC address. So ARP is really just the system for mapping IP addresses to physical addresses. It's like giving them a name, giving a fingerprint a name. And then there's DHCP. So this is kind of like ARP, but it automatically assigns an IP address using a 4-step process: discover, offer, request, and acknowledge. And it's really just giving devices on the network an IP address automatically. And what this process does is it provides devices with an IP address, a subnet mask, a default gateway, and a DNS server. So ARP is like asking who are you and giving it a name. And DHCP is this automatic process that assigns IP addresses. So I think DHCP happens first and then ARP, I believe. Anyway, that is it for today. Thank you for watching. See you next time.